From the Fox 29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia Weekend.
It's the sign of the season, snow, before Christmas, and it's headed our way. It's already looking like a winter wonderland in many places around the country.
Anything under the sun that's snow-related has been flying out the door.
The roads are ready as the Delaware Valley gets ready for snow. Just how many inches are we expecting to fall? Scott Williams is tracking the forecast. And breaking news in Frankfurt, a driver slams into a pole on Roosevelt Boulevard. What caused the car to veer out of control? Plus, few rivalries are as intense as when Army-Navy takes to the gridiron.
We're just very privileged to and honored to have them aboard.
Fans will be roaring as the Black Knights and Navy midshipmen face off at the link, where you can tailgate for the troops before the big game.
So that's going to be covered in snow later today.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking like a winter wonderland later on today.
I was so surprised, and Sue even mentioned on Twitter that my family in Atlanta got snow before we did, so it's marching up our way.
And you know, typically we watch for those southern systems. If they get it there, we typically will get it next.
All right, so I know a couple people waking up on Twitter this morning saying, Lauren, I woke up, where's the snow? I'm like, you got to wait till I see Scott. He has the answers on this Saturday, December 9th. We have a lot going on outside, though. The first snow of the season already starting to fall in our area. It's time to put down those leaf blowers and pick up a shovel. The National Weather Service issuing a winter storm warning in both South Jersey and in Delaware. Jenny Joyce is live in our roving car in South Jersey, where we're expecting to see the most snow. There she is. But first, we're going to start with meteorologist Scott Williams. And the big question, Scott, as people wake up, when will the snow start to fall?
Is your dog Diamond ready for the snow?
Not at all. She hates the snow.
She hates the cold, too.
She hates the cold. She hates the snow. She's a Florida dog. I'll have a picture I'm going to put up. Actually, it's a video that my mom shot in her backyard in Atlanta yesterday. So it snowed all day there yesterday. And
shut down the whole city, right?
The kids got out of school early. My nieces had to walk home. The buses were late. It was a mess. You know how it is down in the south.
And it's headed right to the Delaware Valley. Also, sections of the Poconos will see some of that snow flying. Cold temperatures out there will track the snow in your neighborhood next.
And the snow is a good time for the reminder about no save-these on city streets. We have the newest video from the Philadelphia Police Department. Why this one may be their strangest one yet. Okay, let's face it, everyone loves to hate the PPA, whether it's for tickets, you've been towed, or the infamous boot for the outstanding fines, right? As our Bruce Gordon explains, a new report shows there's some big problems at the parking authority. Pretty creative. Police posted it to Facebook saying they've been seeing some strange things over the years when it comes to saving spots. They say they are hoping to see a lot less of that this year. So that got us to thinking, and we have to ask this morning's instant reaction poll question. While the videos are fun, do you believe that people should be able to save the parking spot that they shoveled? All right, listen, I usually don't get in people's business. I live in a building that has a garage, so this doesn't concern me. However, when you see people working hard to get that snow out and then someone pulls right into that spot, to me, it's not fair.
They shouldn't leave. If they don't want to lose their spot, they should stay at home.
I just feel differently
Unless it's
than
an
Scott.
emergency. Unless it's an emergency.
So you dig and dig and dig to get out of that snow, and then you pull off and you have to go get your kids from school or pick up one from daycare or get your mother's prescription, and you come back.
But to the next person coming along, there's a spot. It's open. Hey.
That you didn't shovel and that you know you shouldn't pull in, but you pull right into it. So I've seen ironing boards.
Couches.
I've seen couches. Oh, this is the low though. I saw a baby carrier. Like, you can't do that.
Send us your pictures if you have any pictures
of the savesies.
Yeah.
I know, they get bad. We'll see what people say. Okay, some parts of New Jersey looking more like a winter wonderland in the Garden State. Jenny Joyce roving around, checking out the roads. They're clear right now, Jenny. And from snow to fire, the coroner says the death of a woman found in a car earlier this week is connected to wildfires burning in California. Now, President Trump declaring a major disaster in that state. He's ordering federal aid to the areas where at least 6 fires have destroyed more than 500 structures. With another 20,000 threatened, more than 200,000 people have been evacuated. 2 new fires blew up overnight, raining down embers northeast of San Diego. The firestorm tearing through everything in its path. And take a look at this, a scene of horror and complete panic at a thoroughbred training center as workers did their best to help these racehorses escape. The flames moved faster than the animals could, and more than 24 did not make it out. Back here at home, the fire that killed 4 people at a senior living center in Westchester started on an outdoor patio. Federal investigators say last month's fire at Barclay's Friend was an accident, but they still don't know how it got started. We expect to learn more next week. Dozens of people were injured, 130 residents displaced when flames swept through that facility on November 17th. In Delaware, Newark police are on the lookout for a man who exposed himself to college students. Witnesses say he was driving this Honda Accord on Scholar Drive near the University of Delaware. 2 women told police it happened yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock. Today, it's the big football game at the link, Army versus Navy, but the battles between the two started yesterday. Cadets from Army faced off against midshipmen from Navy in a tug of war to kick off the annual Patriot Games on the pier of the Battleship New Jersey. The Patriot Games, a 2-day, 5-event competition between the two groups that takes place at various Philadelphia landmarks. It was a best of 3 tries, and the Army came out on top. Archbishop Wood beat the Gateway Gators 49-14 at Hershey Park Stadium. So I was there for a huge pep rally on Wednesday, I think it was. They were so excited.
They knew they were going to do it again, right?
But you know what's so funny? Because it's a Catholic school, and the principal even said this, the kids are so well behaved, it was hard to get them rowdy for the pep rally. They were just all sitting there. I was like, cheer! And they could, I couldn't get them to like misbehave a little.
Yeah.
They're all so well behaved, which is good news. So congratulations, Archbishop Wood. Next, Alex Holly takes us on a tour of the best deals for shopping, eating, fun, and it's for the entire family. Could this be the new trend in dining out? Yeah, you just saw it there. The restaurant hoping to make toilets appetizing. Scott, you love food.
Yes.
Is there anything that kind of grosses you out when you sit down at the table to eat?
Just as long as the restrooms are clean. That will gross me out in a restaurant.
What about
really
if
quickly.
the restroom comes to your table, in a sense? I want to tell you about this themed restaurant.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? It's growing in popularity overseas. It celebrates what happens after you eat in the restroom. Modern Toilet. It's a bathroom-themed restaurant. The chairs are toilets. There you see.
Okay,
You can pick whether you want to sit with the lid up or the lid down. The food is served in sort of like a toilet or bathtub sort of dish. Popular items include the hot pot and a chocolate sundae. It looks sort of like that familiar poop emoji.
No, thank you.
The manager says it's supposed to shock and confuse the senses. Modern Toilet started in Taiwan, but now there are locations across Asia, including Hong Kong.
Nah.
Won't last long?
I'm good, thank you.
I know, I don't get it. I think people will go there for the shock factor, but you can't take the food there seriously, could you?
You can't really process all of that. When
That's
you're trying
disgusting.
to eat, you don't want to think about that.
Do you hate when girls talk about poop?
I hate when anyone talks about poop.
You do? Some guys, though, think that it's even grosser when women talk about it. They're like, I don't want to think about that. Women don't do that, because I'm so open. I'm like, hey, that didn't look right. Like, I feel like...
Did it have the S shape?
I know. I'm like, it's a little too this or a little too that. Like, I'm very open and vocal about it. And some guys are like, oh, Lauren, no, this is gross. My mom thinks it's gross, too.
What did you eat?
I know. That's what I start thinking about sometimes. I'm like,
okay, it's time to move on. It's time to move on.
Let's talk holiday shopping. The hustle and bustle of the busy season is prime time for thieves, not just out on the streets, but also on the web. And with new numbers coming out showing shoppers are buying more things online than in those brick and mortar stores, experts say the risk of becoming a victim of a phishing scam higher than ever before. Joining us this morning, our money man, Dan Riccado, here to explain what we need to know.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
The season of giving is the season of taking for the scammers.
Jeez.
They really ramp up their efforts, Lauren. Last year, more than 15 million consumers were ripped off. But guess what? During the holiday season, that goes up by 31%.
What?
So it's crazy. Just as we're busier shopping, they're busier trying to get a piece of our purse.
Okay, so tell us what we need to look out for.
Well, they're being more creative than ever. So here's another. Gift cards, our favorite, the gift that says you care, right? You can buy gift cards now used. We've done a lot of reporting on this here at Fox 29. And if you go through a reputable buyer like Gift Card Granny or something like that, you're fine.
Okay.
But If you're not careful, you can buy a gift card that has little or no value. So, Craigslist, things like that. You want to stay away from the non-established providers because you're probably going to buy a gift card that has no value.
So someone can say, I got this, I don't shop at that store, I'm reselling it. You think you're getting a deal by buying it.
Be careful with that, especially if it's off of Craigslist, right? That's pretty sketchy.
Okay.
How about counterfeit
Kate
goods?
Spade
Your little
purse?
cute Kate Spade clutch.
Might not be real.
Might not. Now, this is real. This is the First Lady's. But, actually, it's mine. But.
It's your purse, a man purse.
Yeah, my man bag. But there's a lot of counterfeit goods out there, as you know. So you have to be careful, especially those little pop-up stores and things like that, right? If you're paying $10 for a Kate Spade purse, you're probably buying a Lauren Spade purse.
So if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, and here's a really creative scam that's going around. I have to give these guys credit for being creative. You're getting coupons now sent to your smartphone.
Yes.
And the coupon says, to activate this coupon, we need some personal information.
Oh, come on.
People are falling for it.
Really?
You do not ever have to enter your personal information for a coupon,
Just
folks.
go to Retail Me Not. That's
exactly.
what I do.
So stay away from it. If it sounds good to be true, it is too good to be true. Forget it. How about those charity scams? You and I hate these. I know that, right?
Yeah.
Because this time of the year, people are generous, more generous, right?
Don't do that.
Yeah, and you have so many of these scammers out there trying to take advantage of our generosity.
Yeah.
You're getting emails, you're getting phone calls, you're getting pop-ups on your smartphone. Here's a little tip. If someone's calling you or soliciting you, they're probably a solicitor and they're being paid.
Correct.
Do not give your money to a paid solicitor. Make sure your charitable money, especially during this season, is going where it's supposed to go.
This is another one that's kind of scary. It's like you can buy this online and then you can come pick it up later.
Yeah,
I
sure.
get so nervous about that because it's like when I get there, is it going to be there?
Exactly.
Do they know me? Does my receipt
Scammers might be hacking into that transaction. They may be picking it up before you, and they're off with the goods, especially those, and once in a while you'll see, we guarantee delivery of the hottest toys in 24 hours. Well, guess what? That's probably not going to happen. A lot of those toys are already sold out. So don't fall for those sort of stunts, folks.
All right.
All right.
It's so tough. You try to be nice and giving and charitable.
Let's stay safe this holiday season and keep our purses and wallets safe as well.
Good advice. Speaking of purses and wallets, lottery numbers, you could be a big winner. That means a good Christmas for you. Check this out. There can be no better time for gingerbread. It's the holiday season, and it happens to be National Pastry Day. However, the classic treat has as rich of a history as it does flavor. Author of American Cakes, Ann Byrne, is here to share with us the same recipe used by George Washington's mother, Mary Ball. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Great to be here.
Visiting us from Nashville. You're here in Philadelphia.
I am doing an event at your Museum of the American Revolution today.
Super cool. And this book will be there, correct?
Absolutely.
You'll be autographing it.
I will be.
Now listen, I'm not a history buff. Scott knows this, but when you mix food and history, you got my attention.
Okay,
so
great.
I'm reading all. I know.
It does.
I'm reading all this stuff in your book, and it's so cool. First of all, I used to be a newspaper journalist.
Right, the AJC in Atlanta. So we have.
You were a food critic.
Yeah, food editor. That's right. Yeah, food editor. Yeah, and then I wrote a book that everybody knows called The Cake Mix Doctor. Maybe out there you know. And then I did this American cake book because I wanted to know the history behind the recipes, like what we eat, what's the story behind the recipe. So gingerbread is a really old story.
How do we make it?
You make it. We start with butter. I've got soft butter and some brown sugar and molasses. So molasses would have been the sweetener back then. You probably wouldn't have been able to use white sugar. You wouldn't have afforded it, or you just wouldn't have wanted to pay for it. You had molasses. It was local.
Okay.
And then we've got some spices here. This is the flour with some leavening, and you could add. You want to add the ginger?
Oh, sure.
So we've got ginger. And that's cinnamon. And then we got 2 tablespoons of ground ginger and some nutmeg and mace. If you don't mind, just kind of stirring those together.
I've never heard of mace.
Mace is a ground from the inside of the shell of the nutmeg pod.
Oh.
So it's really unique. So we got a flavored, and I also have a little baking soda in there and some cream of tartar. Those would have been early leaveners. We'll hold off on there. I'm going to add some apple cider, about 2 ounces. You could use brandy if you've got it.
Ooh, brandy.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? And then I use fresh orange juice, about 1 orange, the fresh juice, and I'm also going to throw in 3 eggs. This is television.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add about a half a cup of milk, but I'm going to do that in portions. So this is really a 1 bowl cake. Of course, there was no KitchenAid back in the
You had to
time
do
of
it
the-
all,
You
right?
did it by hand.
And look at the finished product. I'm going to go ahead and grab one
Grab
of these. It looks
one.
really
You
good.
got
Give
it.
it a try.
Yeah. So the gingerbread back then would have been a very sturdy cake.
And really quickly before we wrap
Yeah.
up, where will you be today and what time?
I'm going to be over at the Museum of the American Revolution at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
I've got a lecture, but then there's a whole schedule online. They can check it out. Yeah.
See you later. We'll see her there.